It's a beautiful day here in New York City. It's nice to be up here from Washington. Traffic's a little heavier around this area for some reason. You loaned one of your residents to us down there. He's shaking things up. He's shaking things up. And I didn't realize that the traffic was going to be quite so bad, so I'm a big Uber fan, and I got in the airport at LaGuardia and looked for my Uber, and I kept looking, and I had to go way out somewhere to catch him. Next time I'm going to ask the president if I can use his helicopter. Now I get why he has a helicopter, right, to get around down here. But, you know, we're going to talk a little bit very quickly about the Lightspeed Enterprise, what that means, what disruptive technologies are doing in our enterprises across all of the verticals that we see. I focus on the federal government, but in ServiceNow we utilize partnerships with over 30% of the Global 2000 who are doing enterprise delivery of their core lines of business, utilizing this platform and taking this Lightspeed journey with us in how we're able to deliver a service experience that is not unlike what we have in our personal lives, right? So I talked a little bit about Uber. I'm a big Uber fan. Anybody else use Uber? Really great, right? I mean, that's a disruptive technology to the taxi industry. I had to take a taxi in Edmonton last week, and it was not a good experience because I was really uncomfortable now with the financial transaction when I've been conditioned to the new service delivery model, right? Where I had an account, I have an account set up, and I booked the car is coming to me, I can watch it in a game interactive type of a interface. I get a quality standard experience wherever I utilize that service, and then I'm billed accordingly. This is a great way of doing business for us. We're seeing that throughout a lot of different industries, like you can see on the screen here. But another one that I really like to use, you know, when I drive myself, I often use the Waze application. Anybody else use Waze? That's a killer app, right? So I really enjoy the feature where you put in where you want to go and what time you have to be there. And then you get updates if you need to leave earlier because there's some sort of a traffic issue or whatever. How has that changed our expectation of service delivery when we're driving somewhere? Now it's just a given. I'm going to have Waze up, whether I'm using the map driving directions function or not. I just want to see what's happening on the road ahead of me. Our employees and our customers are looking for that type of a service delivery experience in enterprise applications as well, aren't they? It's not something that we normally find at work. I often say, you know, we have this great experience, we carry a platform in our pocket or our purse, and we do most of our interactions in our personal life on this platform, and then we get to work. And then that work experience falls far short in most cases, although it doesn't have to be that way. So what we're trying to accomplish and what we're helping a lot of organizations and companies do is take that journey to have a faster product to market, increasing transparency on where your data is and how secure it is and what's happening there, metrics around that, and creating this new user experience, which is really important, not just for our customers, but our employees who expect this type of a capability in the organization that they're working with today. We've heard about that throughout the morning, right? So how we access information has changed. I think the Waze example is a really good one. We've been conditioned that we have to understand where our information is, in which system, how to operate that system. We mine the information, we pull it out, we collate it, and then we make a decision based on what we're trying to accomplish, right? But technology is now flipping that paradigm. Based on who we are and what our responsibilities are, the information is coming to us at the appropriate time for us to make a decision. This is being exacerbated when you start talking about the big data issue. I mean, I thought Eric had a really great presentation. When you talk about gas and oil and the big data problems that they're having and the terabytes of data that they deal with. Well, I deal with NASA, with Department of State, and they generate a lot of data as well. And there's a real issue with sifting through the noise to find out what's the real demand signal, how do you deal with that, and delivering this modern commercial-like experience. Well, we at ServiceNow, we've recognized that this is a growing trend. We've made an acquisition. We're going to talk about it down at our conference next week. that involves artificial intelligence and machine learning that's going to help organizations understand what's happening in your environment, how you can get ahead of that, and actually predict and preempt things from happening or getting ahead of the curve in delivering those services. This is really an aggregation platform, right? So the applications that you've chosen, it doesn't matter if it's iOS or Android or whatever, it's pulling information from systems of record across the spectrum of lines of business that are important to deliver information to you on applications you've chosen, and in some cases, applications you've developed on this platform in order to get something accomplished that is of interest to you. Well, it's no different when you talk about being able to aggregate that information, deliver it on a single platform to have that service delivery experience in the enterprise. So we talk about the Lightspeed Enterprise from this perspective. Now, most organizations have systems of record within each of these verticals, right? So you might have Workday for HR, you may have Oracle or SAP for financials, you may have ServiceNow for IT, for example. But the problem becomes, whenever there's a process that is cross-departmental, then it kind of falls apart from those systems of record, and we revert back to manual processes that have to be done in an unstructured manner. And as soon as you say unstructured, you're talking telephone, email, text, you lose all the fidelity on who's doing what, when, how much it costs, and how good you are at delivering that service. So we want to capture that. We want to bring that back in band, if you will. And a great example of how you do that is with the HR onboarding experience. We at ServiceNow, we've kind of grouped the 53 native applications that are on the platform and the ability to develop custom applications utilizing the application development toolkit on the platform into these 5 buckets of capabilities or 5 verticals. So ServiceNow is a great ERP for IT. You know, IT service management, IT operations management is kind of our core forte. That's what we're known for. But we've increased our abilities, and we have a new security operations suite that gives contextual awareness to what the security posture is of not just your information, but the activities that are happening within your instance. The customer relations management issue is really important to us, so customer service management is where we really thrive. So where CRM is really looking at case management of your interaction with customers and cataloging those, the question becomes, what do you do with that information, and how do you solve or deliver or increase that customer service experience on the back end? Again, that's a cross-departmental question that needs to be answered, right? HR is a great one, HR onboarding. You may have a great HR system like Workday. We use Workday at ServiceNow. But when you onboard someone, that's more than just an HR issue, right? It's not just filling out your forms for what your benefits are or what your time card's going to look like, but also where do you get your computer? Where are you going to set? You know, who do you report to? And all those types of things that are cross-departmental need to be automated. Any workflow we can automate on the platform. And of course, developing custom business applications that fill in the gap for those truly unique capabilities that you're required to deliver as services to your constituents. All this resides on a rich platform. Platform management is really taking off and replacing application management because as we heard in at least 2 presentations earlier today, driving the complexity out below the application layer is really important and one of the advantages of the cloud, right? So everything that you see on the slide there on the second layer of my cake here is native to the platform, fully interoperable, native, mobile. So all the capabilities that we have in our pockets or our purse and that application type of delivery can be delivered today utilizing a modern service delivery platform, that same commercial look and feel. Designer toolkits, I mean, it's all just rich, very rich. The ability to run analytics, to run reports and have surveys. So, you know, customer satisfaction scores, your NPRs are really important. So that's native to the platform as well. If you're going to put your core lines of business into the cloud, you want to make sure it's an enterprise class cloud. There's some differentiation there that's important as you're considering cloud. A multi-tenant architecture doesn't give you a lot of visibility and control over your data. A multi-instance does. You have, with ServiceNow, mirrored image data centers. So you have 2 instances of ServiceNow. Each has their own database. You're in full control of that. you have security over that, and you have the ability to run metrics and see how the performance is on your instances. So it's all comes together to be a very scalable capability that allows you to transform from wherever you are today in your journey toward modernization and transformation towards this new commercial, consumer-like service delivery platform. We call that the Lightspeed Enterprise, and we've got a lot of customers. Many of you are in the room who are taking this journey with us today, and we'd love to talk to you more about it. If you'd like to have interest, we've got several of our folks who are around here afterwards at the break. Thank you very much.